Right, Oconee County Rescue Squad Advisory Commission, July 23rd, 2026. Call to order at 6 p.m. If you would, face the flag, we're going to do the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, next up, approval of the minutes. It should be in your packet. Has everyone had time to review that? Do I hear a motion to approve?
Motion.
Motion by Dean. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Steve. All in favor, aye? Aye. All right, next up, public comment. Public comment's limited to 4 minutes per person. Do I hear anybody that would like to speak tonight? Hearing none, we'll move on to commission member comments. My comment, we have a resignation of the Region 4 seat. Commissioner Sobalski submitted her resignation. So I talked to Jennifer, and she said that Rescue 22 will need to do nominations in August, and then they'll do their election in September. And then I believe they meet right before our September meeting, so that'll be their first meeting as a commissioner. And then because her seat was up for election, they'll do nominations again in October, and then an election in November. And if that's the same person, great. If not, the new person would take over January 1. Any discussion on the resignation? Okay. We'll move into committee reports. Radio committee. We met with everybody, the sheriff's office, emergency management, emergency services, volunteer agencies, just to make sure we got back on the same page as far as information sharing. It felt like there was stuff that the sheriff's office was doing, the paid staff was doing, and volunteers were doing, and it wasn't on the same page. So we met again just to do some information sharing, see what we were still looking at going towards and doing. Believe, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, that the sheriff's office is starting to type up an RFP to figure out what they really want to do. Other than that, Smitty sent me an email this morning, Director Smith, and it's a ReadyOp. So I'm going to send that to everybody after this meeting. Basically, send it to your chiefs so they can send it out to their responders. It's got just, time, date, where are you right now, what radio model are you using, and what's your location and what happened. Was there static? Did dispatch not copy you? Any kind of radio issue that you had. That way we can track those things specifically where you're at. In the last meeting, it was said that the rescue repeater, which has been the worst one for many years, is bad, but we can't just go tell a radio person, hey, the rescue repeater don't work. Because if they show up and it keys up and people can hear, then it's working to them. So they need to figure out exactly where in the county we're having these coverage issues. So I'll send that out to everybody. Feel forward that to your chiefs and squads. You got anything to add else for radio committee? Okay. Any questions about radios?
Brady, I had some conversation today with Aaron Smith about radios, and I greatly appreciated him taking time out of the day, because is it okay if I just talk about the rescue repeater real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I learned a couple things. Apparently the Clemson radio repeater is actually on the roof of a Clemson University building. I was unaware of that. And about 2 or 3 months ago, we had during our meeting, I'd said, hey, we're having problems in the area of Friendship and Bounty Land area. I believe that radio repeater was then checked and there was a problem with it. It sounds like they've made some repairs or fixes to it. He also provided me with a form. I'm not sure if it's the same form that we're talking about of, hey, if there's problems, fill this out and it will help us track it. There was also some other things on that form, like if somebody needed a programming issue or if somebody needed a potential training issue, that type of stuff that was on there too. I appreciated that as well. We also talked about some other repeater locations. And I had also asked about the actual radio profile, which sometimes we'll have units with a stuck mic. And was it capable after so many seconds of transmitting to, get knocked off or stop transmitting? Was that in the profile? And he assured me that he believed that it was. And he thought that the cutoff time was about a minute or so, somewhere between 30 seconds and a minute. He couldn't.
Should be 60.
Yeah, he couldn't exactly, but he said about a minute or so that it cuts it off. And we also talked a little bit about that there are some, and I guess the best way to refer to them are rogue radios, radios that have not been touched by county people or county-approved vendors or staff or people that are on the radio programming. Somebody picked up equipment either through an eBay deal or picked up something online and they either hand-programmed it or programmed it itself. And obviously those, it is what it is. There's limited control over that, but that the system is open currently. And I imagine moving forward, the P25 system or whatever we move to that would not be an issue. So, that's just kind of one of those long-term fixes and recognizing that those radios are gonna be out there for some time.
Yep.
Zach, was there anything that I'm missing? I think you probably talked with Aaron a little bit. Anything that I missed or that you'd like to add? I know that you're engaged in all those parts and pieces as well.
No, I mean, him and I talked about it today, that y'all discussed, and you're spot on with it, so.
Okay. But I appreciated staff, having that conversation and, again, still trying to educate myself and figuring out what the problem was. I always had made the, assumption that it wasn't actually on Clemson property,
Right.
but apparently it is.
Yep.
It's on
Did
the
he
roof of the
discuss with
building.
you what the loopholes are to get on that building?
He touched on it and, yeah.
Okay.
So, it sounds like there are two locations where we have that. The hospital and there are the two locations.
We don't have one on the hospital,
Okay.
but it's just Clemson, it's a property thing and security measures and stuff like that
Yeah.
it takes.
I thought it was on a tower in Clemson or adjacent to Clemson,
It's on Lever.
Lever.
Yeah.
Rock.
Yeah, so, okay, that's it for me. I appreciate it, and that takes care of my, one item.
Okay. Steve, what did you have? You was about to speak.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay.
I think of it, I'll let you know.
Yep. All right, any other discussion on radios? Hearing none, we'll go into Budget and Incentive Committee. Commissioner Shear.
We did not meet, and I believe we're due a meeting, so I'll talk with, Commissioner Olbon with Amber and see if we could set something up.
I will say, watching the Fire Commission meeting, I don't know if anybody else has. So if you look in our ordinance, just like, Chairman Collins has, it states in there that we are supposed to, give recommendations and advice on budgets and approvals and things like that. So I would encourage you to reach out to emergency services on, I know this year we weren't really included on a meeting. I wasn't handed a spreadsheet on budget. I was just kind of told that, hey, this was going in there, we're gonna see if it gets approved, but according to the ordinance, we're supposed to be a lot more involved in that. So maybe follow up with that and see if we can get more involved for next year.
We'll do, and obviously I don't want to speak for emergency services. I think they were in a major staff change.
Oh, yeah.
And just kind of got handed the football.
Right. Any other discussion for budget and incentive? Hearing none, we'll move on to the big item, SOG committee. So this has been a hot topic for 3 years. It has been a document that we've been prying over for 3 years. It was last done by the former Director Crine in 2014. 3 years ago, we brought it up in the same very commission to get it updated into today's times, changing some wording, giving a little more responsibilities to chiefs and officers and rescue squads independently, fixing our organizational chart. We all know the division has changed drastically since 2014. We had a final document in 2023, and it just never got approved by the director. So it has come back up into light since January. To review the document, the SOG is a living, breathing document that should be reviewed, a lot. Zach mentioned maybe we'll start doing it annually in about October. I like that idea. But with that, we've had many meetings, all the rescue chiefs, all the rescue squads. It was open to anybody and everybody every time we had a meeting. And we have come out with a proposed final document. I say final lightly because, of course, there's always ways to make amendments and changes. It should be, you got it pulled up, Mike, if we need it.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll need it. If you want to have a question on it, we can pull it up. We don't have many copies, but it was emailed to everybody. We met 3 weeks ago as a SOG committee, and I sent it to everyone. There it is in front of you. The last one that we approved pretty much was just some word changes, because now Richie's the Oconee County Emergency Services Director. He's not the Director for Emergency Management. They added like an extra position, so. We met, what was it, Monday with the rescue chiefs. It was approved by all the rescue chiefs, Zach as their commissioner, me as their commissioner. They forwarded it to all their squads are on board with it. So we've got all the rescue squads, all the rescue chiefs on board. Basically, it's our governance to look at it, approve it, and then send it to Richie and advise him that we're all in agreement, so this is something that we support and we want to start acting under these guidelines. So with that, if we want to go over anything in this document, I'm happy to do so. It's been in front of you in your email multiple times, but I would like to entertain a motion to approve this document for recommendation and have Director Caudill sign it into a new SOG that we'll operate under.
I make a motion that we approve this document.
I'll second it.
Here a second. So Steve made the motion, Dean made a second. Any further discussion on the SOG? Hearing none, let's vote. All in favor, aye? Aye. Any against? None. All in favor. I will get this forwarded to Director Caudill and keep everybody updated. Any other discussion on SOG committee? Hearing none, we'll go into training committee. Commissioner Jackman.
Since we've kind of failed to have quarterly meetings for training, and now that Christie's resigned, I would like to take action with the rescue chiefs at the next rescue chiefs meeting.
Okay.
And say, what do you guys want to do? Put it up to the chiefs, because I don't get any feedback from the training officers on the rescue squad or anybody for that effect. So I think it's something we address the rescue, at one of those meetings, we'll address the rescue chiefs and see how far they want to go, or if the rescue chiefs, we want to do a committee meeting before, after, or something, a rescue chiefs meeting.
Okay.
So, I mean, we got to do something, and I think that's where we need to be with it. We'll put it back on the rescue chiefs.
Okay. So you want to put it as an action item for our next meeting. We'll talk to the chiefs in the meantime to see about maybe suspending this committee and leaving it up to the squads.
Up to the squads.
That'd be
Mike, you got any comment on that?
That'll be the next Chiefs meeting.
August 6th,
Sixth.
in 2 weeks from today.
Yeah, sixth.
August
Yeah.
6th? Yep.
I say get the chiefs involved or
That's all.
to get their training officers involved. Because each squad has a training officer.
Right.
Okay. Any other discussion on training committee?
That's all we're good.
Hearing none, we'll move into Mike Carroll's report.
Hey, evening, everybody. Run report you got in front of you. Another busy month for everybody. We're all in green and blue. Everybody finished out the first quarter of 2026 in green and blue. That's a first. And good job, everybody. Calls continue to increase, and we're still trying to, the calls that are being burdensome as IE lift assist, we're gonna sit down, it's supposed to have been today, but that got pushed aside for some other stuff. I've been keeping for the last month of tracking the data using the updated, nearest sub-incident, line, and since July 1st, and this is just 37,501, I came up with 87 lift assists that were dispatched as lift assist, and then wound up not being a change to an injured subject. This carried through the entire time. Of those, 58, I don't know, I didn't bring the numbers with me, it was on a sticky on my computer, 58 were falls. The next, which people fall, we know that. They were falls without injuries. So we went, helped them up, they signed a refusal, and we went about our business. The next were about 20 calls for EMS lift assist. And that was some for our normal addresses that we run for sometimes for medical appointments. We assist Prisma on. And then out of all those, comfort lifts have dropped significantly, and those were under 10. And then the medical facility calls where we've gone and helped the medical facility, there was only 3 of those last month that was documented. So I want to work with the chiefs a little bit more to get those numbers up and run, a little bit more clearer, make sure people understand if it's, we ran it, it was dispatched as, and goes back to, we have new dispatchers on both sides of the house. If they sometimes just dispatches a lift assist and it was a fall with trauma. So we know the ambulance is coming. That's not a lift assist. That's a nearest trauma fall call. Okay. So trying to look through all those. There may be a couple I miss every once in a while, but we'll continue to chart that out. Anybody have any questions?
Just a recommendation, I would remind the fire guys that that's the category to choose from. Because I've already seen a couple where they're not doing that subcategory.
Yeah, it's
Like, if they usually get there first and call command, we let them do the whole front sheet,
Yeah.
and we just do the
and
response.
that's a lot of new people on our behalf too.
I would just remind them again, because I've went in and fixed all of ours for it.
Let's see what else is next. Revenue and Exit Responder Software. Met with them this morning. We have to do some additions for some stuff. Still working on getting everybody their own homepage, info page for their stations. But it's going to be a cost it will be a cost for that to each station at once.
And it's just because we got the same FDID number.
Yeah. If you want, we can have everybody can have a generic one, but you're gonna see everything in the world. Commissioner Shear, you had questions about information on where people had an incentive. So I went and pulled that report, and it was supposed to have been repaired, and that info was wrong.
It's a little wonky in there.
It was off still.
Okay.
So they were supposed to get back to me this afternoon about if that ticket was actually completed.
And at some point, I recognize it won't be this week or next week, will people with access to that be able to pull that report?
Yes.
Like training officers and
Yes.
chiefs?
Training officers and chiefs should have
Great.
it.
Yeah, that'd be perfect.
And it'll be the upper, under reports, which is a printer font or printer highlight. It should be in the upper, left-hand column under favorite reports. And it's called the Oconee Incentive Report.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody have any more questions? Oh, I added something to that. Active. We started going through and getting active. A lot of rescue squads, I have got your information. Chief Smith's working on Chris Smith's working on getting the fireside stuff together. I'm getting all those loaded back into active. With the funds that were appropriated by the, county council, I was able to buy 391 seats of active. So, still going through. There's a lot of people who have to understand they may not be the owner of that seat because their volunteer works for the city of Seneca, so they're gonna keep the seat under them. They'll still be able to send stuff to them, but it's still gonna be a code kind of site for code for everybody. So, we're gonna have a lot of those. Anybody have any questions? Training update. I gave everybody, should have the same schedule. Remember, we got the burn center coming up 13th. EMT people we got in that, moving right along. We did trauma last night. We did skills. So everybody jumped right in. We went through a lot of stuff on that. other classes that are coming up. Honeycutt sends out, Honeycutt sends out all the chiefs, the updates on classes coming up. And I do believe there was some confusion at the fire commission about nothing showing up on the portal. And I think what he was pretty much saying was that we're under Greenwood, we're not under Greenwood, or Greenville. So we're in Region 7, I do believe that number is. So it's, when you're searching for classes under the state fire portal, we're under the Greenwood. The EMR class, nighttime class is coming up. We have a tentative schedule, so a start date of 10/2. We're trying to make sure we got out some of the dates out there, and as soon as we totally confirm that, I'll get those rest of the nights out. But still, right now, planning on starting that nighttime class on the 2nd of October. Anyone have any questions? Oh, one more thing. The members that took the BFIS class with me, got a night, we're gonna do the driving portion August the 4th at headquarters. Starting about, if they can get there, I'll be there at 5 o'clock. If they wanna get there any sooner, contact me, I'll have the course set up.
You need help with that class?
Yeah, if you wanna come, I'm gonna have, we're kinda doing it at the same time as the EVDT class, so we're gonna be, working through that.
August 4th, what time?
You wanna get there about 5 o'clock? So, anyone have any questions? And I will be reaching out to, your squad's ASHI instructors, cause there's an instructor update, it has to be done by September. I'm gonna go through that, I just got a notification on that, I'll be looking through that to get, make sure everybody's up to date and instructor-wise for their, to keep their ASHI. New vehicle, we have one this year, for rescue. And I'll be working with Jeremy Foster at Motor Pool to see what else in the counties will be getting one and try to do a group one, but it will be an SSV of some type on the state contract. So, special purpose, so it'll be ready for response.
Who's that going to?
I'm sorry?
Who's it going to?
Should go to Rescue 4. You got the,
2006 F-150.
yeah, with 130,000 miles.
137, I
Yeah.
think. Yeah.
And that's it. If anybody's got questions.
All right, thank you. And then forgive me before we go into rescue squad updates. We said a few meetings ago that we needed a new secretary, that Steve was having some trouble hearing and he's got a lot on his plate. Is anybody willing tonight that wants to take over the secretary position? If not, it does not have to be one of us. You can go to your squads and see if anybody's willing to come up here and do it. They basically just have a form they fill out, they write down what we said, and then send it to Jennifer, and Jennifer puts it on the website.
You wanna see if Alyssa can do it?
Who's Alyssa?
She'll be taking Cindy's place in December. Cindy's retiring, and they're already bringing someone in part-time. And I can see if I can talk to Smitty and see if that would be something that she'd be interested in.
That would be great.
Just to see, so what we can do.
Is anybody willing tonight to take it off Steve's plate? Or know anybody that we could? Okay.
Looking at me forward.
While we're waiting for, no, I wasn't. You had did it at the beginning. Just,
Your turn again.
yeah, reach out to your squads and see if there's anybody can do it now between December. I don't necessarily think they would have to be here in person. They could also just watch the recording. It's just the recording can be quiet sometimes. So, and it does record, and Jennifer does have access to the audio, right? That-
Yeah, the audio files are saved separately, so they can be a WAV file sent to
Yep.
a computer.
Yeah, so just please reach out to your squads and see if there's anybody willing to do that for us. All right, rescue squad updates, Region 1, Commissioner Shear.
Rescue 1 did not meet this month. We're working on outfitting a replacement for 1 Delta. The used vehicle that we bought needed some engine work before being outfitted, so working through that. We have a couple new members that we're in the process of bringing on board. We had one that passed EMR this last go-around. They enjoyed the class, and thank you to the instructor and the staff that helped with that. Rescue 3 did not meet last month, or this month either, because of the summer, and they didn't have much to report. I believe they had one in the EMR class as well. So that's it for me. Did you want me to talk about my other items on here? Or would you like me to do that later?
You can go ahead.
Okay. I knew about 2 meetings ago, I had asked about seeing if it was possible for the county to create a volunteer job posting or to post it. I understand that neighboring counties have something similar, and I'm just not sure where that's at. I'm just trying to follow up.
So I put it in the quarterly report that was given to them, and I can follow up with either Phil or,
I would appreciate that.
yeah,
Thank you.
I'll follow up with them and see if it went anywhere.
And also to see if we could get, I probably wouldn't be able to catch everybody, but an exit interview to find out with HR as well. Thank you. And also lake marking systems. I know Zach had sent out an email. Did you want to talk about that for a moment, Zach? Could you give us an update on the lake marking? I understand CERT is handling that with Smitty.
Actually, CERT and folks are taking care of that. Friends of Lake Huey Society. It's just I know that y'all have probably seen some of them across Lake Huey. I know there's some in Pickens County, but it's going to say OK. It's like in that color blue that's on those papers, and it's reflective in white letters, OK, then whatever the lake sign is. They started putting those signs out today, and there's one at Fall Creek, High Falls, Fall Creek 2, I think Stamp Creek. So there's 4 signs up. I met with DOT today about putting them on some bridges, and we're just trying to get them in the community areas first versus private docks. It's just easier to do it that way, because I don't think some folks understand that emergency services could light up their night about 3 o'clock in the morning when if in the event there's like an emergency on the lake. So we're just putting them at the community docks first. But Smitty's taking this and ran with it, and we're slowly but surely getting it done. On Lake Joe Cassie, there's going to be some as well. They're not going to be on Hartwell because it is a core lake. But only Joe Cassie and Kiwi.
I'll make the offer if the CERT folks need somebody to tote them around or to get them, to assist. Please let us know, or, please let me know, and I'll see if we could get the Rescue 1 boat to help,
Okay.
or go out with them. I know everybody's fighting for staffing, for just enough volunteers to do stuff, but I'll make the offer.
Okay. Thank you.
And thank you for the update. That's it for me, thank you.
I got one thing for you. On the website, we're trying to get our old non-county OCES website back up and running, and they're just running it through the back of the chain of command. Prior administration didn't want us, county administration didn't want us to have something outside the counties. But it's just too cumbersome to update the county ones, because it's done by a contractor. So,
Excuse me. I know if you go on there now and you go to the county website, emergency services, click volunteer today, it takes you to the state fire association,
yeah.
and it's like,
And then you fill out the fire data, and then like people have said, we do get those every so often from state fire. And then we send it on to it depends on whatever district they live in, we come up with. sometimes it says volunteer, but they're also inquiring about a job. So,
It'd be good if it would just go to like Madison and whoever's gonna replace Cindy, and then they just forward it to whoever it kinda needs to go to.
It seemed like a one-liner on the job posting sites on the county website, you know, it could, volunteers needed, fire and rescue, it could stay on there all the time.
Yeah.
and
think-
that's also another one where you click on it, it goes basically to I think it's through Paylocity, which is the recruiting thing, but that would have to be a whole different type.
I think
route.
Pickens at one time did that. If you went to job opportunities, there was a volunteer position.
It is,
Yeah.
and they have two, it looks like there's one for rescue squads and one for firefighter.
All right, anything else for Region 1? Okay, Region 2, Commissioner Jackman.
Squad 2, we've got one EMT up and running, again, another new one. And, we have got a couple new personnel that have just signed up, so, which is a good for us. And other than that, I think Rescue 2C, the new truck, we're just still waiting on the cover for the back, but the slides in, I mean, that truck's pretty well up and running. Other than that, Station 2, we're doing good. They're making the purchases now for the rehab trailer. The trailer's finished itself, and they're just equipping it now, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we're gonna be out the door with that up and running, so that's a good thing. As far as Rescue 6, I talked to Truman. He's lost a couple guys, but they gained one of the old members back, and he said they're still struggling up there with covering during the daytime. So, but other than that, that's all I've got for 2 and 6.
Okay. Region 3, Commissioner Zahn.
Okay, Rescue 4, doing well. We're working hard to get new members, and we're having daytime coverage problems like everybody is. Rescue 5, the chief wanted me to bring up the fact that when someone on scene needs 12A, dispatch doesn't want to send 12A until they ask why. And her concern was that sometimes they're not able to say why because they're in the middle of the situation. I don't know how we're gonna correct that. Code words, something.
I would say the radio committee on both sides, when they meet jointly, come up with a cue word. That means if you sit over the radio, that would cue the dispatcher to go ahead and get them running, and know that by saying that word or letter after okay, or that you need someone emergent. And
I know we don't have a word, we have a 10 code, but I know we don't use 10 codes, and that's not ever been like published to us, but there is a 10 code. Yeah, we can bring that up, and,
But it would need to be jointly.
yeah, so everybody knows.
Her other concern was that regarding lift assist, that she understands that Prisma receives $400 if they go on a lift assist. So why aren't we just letting them handle lift assist? Since they get so much money for them.
Interesting.
Anyway,
All I can say is that all this information is being passed on for a decision at the county administration. Where this is gonna be, and when and if there's a liability, and if we can charge. So Pickens County charges $125 per lift assist. So, and there's not really anybody in the state doing the same thing. But everybody's, the increased burden of these calls are or taxing not just volunteer system, but paid systems also. So, There's a lot to think about.
For sure. And Rescue 5 is also working on getting members. That's it.
I'll touch on the getting member part. So
Okay.
it was approved in the budget. Fire Chiefs Association requested a donation to host regional dinners that would include fire and rescue. To my knowledge, all that got approved. So they're supposed to be meeting, and I'm hoping that since it's fire and rescue, they'll also ask the rescue side where and when they want to host these regional dinners in low response areas. And then basically just have a big community dinner with everybody, get everyone together, maybe get some new members and help out in those areas. So hopefully we'll know more about that in a few weeks. All right, Region 4 again resigned. I did reach out to Chief Spragus, who said he did not currently have anything. And they have been informed on how to do their nominations in August, elections in September. Region 5 is also absent. Anybody got any stuff for Region 5?
She didn't say anything to me.
Okay, haven't heard anything. Okay, Rescue Squad Chief Commissioners, again, just basically, they've been informed of the SOGs, everyone was in agreement. We don't really have any big things coming up as far as the rescue chiefs. Zach, you got anything to touch on?
The new boat that we had in place for the past couple of years, it is now up at Lake Jocassee. It's stationed up there at its new home. It operates well. It's got a radio. Its call sign is Marine 37. If you hear that on the water, Salem Fire has been out there. They've tested it, and they're putting some of their members through some training on it as well. It's not going to be used for sonar and recovery. It is essentially a quick response boat. That's what it's made for. It is made specifically for Lake Jocassee.
Is that the original inflatable?
Yes.
Do eventually hope it to be housed on the water?
Yes. It'll take a few years, but yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, you got?
We did a training, this can also go with special rescue as well and dive. There was a training last Friday with the Upstate School of Medicine, their ER, the Emergency Department Residents Physician Group. Just getting out in the woods and getting them accustomed to what it's like. That way they don't start asking questions as to why the patient is dirty and everybody's nasty and why it took so long, when they kind of have an understanding now as to why it does take long. Why it does take a while for them to get out there. So, that's it.
And then question for you, just because you're speaking, it doesn't really pertain to your commissioner status, but the Noah's box stuff.
Yes.
Didn't know about it till I saw it on the news.
Mhm.
So how can we get the rescue squads involved with that? How can we get a box? How can we get training on a box?
Okay. Seneca Rescue, I believe, has one, right, Scott?
The Noah's box?
The Noah's box, for special needs and development.
I'm not sure.
It's essentially, it's for any kind of stimulation or ways for whenever there's an autistic patient that you come in contact with, of what are ways to calm down and keep them occupied during your assessments. It's a very good program. If you want any more information about it, or if you want to donate or get one, just get with Smitty, and he'll be able to give you all of the information on that.
And I saw y'all were giving out like vehicle stickers too, right?
I think so.
I know he said as many as they have printed for now, and they've got donations for it, but I think it would be important to have at least one sticker on every single rescue squad vehicle. That way, when we go out to a home and identify that, we have somebody like that, we can offer that sticker to them right then and there, so.
Yeah, just get with him, and he that's something it's very near and dear to his heart. So he's excited about that.
And then something I'll touch on for rescue chiefs. Tuesday, we had a training at Walhalla Rescue that Mike sent out an email on July 1 about a new training program from Prisma. It's basically partnering for survival, high-performance CPR training. And what it boils down to is their new policies and procedures regarding CPR. And then how do we integrate the first responders that are gonna be there too? We operate under their COG anyways. So, we went ahead, you sent the email, within 5 minutes, I reached out to them, within 10 minutes, I had a date and time scheduled. And when I tell y'all, they sent, 3 certified instructors with them, and then Ashley, I don't know if y'all know paramedic Ashley, he's actually gonna be one of the guys heading it off for our side. He showed up too, that was a really, really good training, and I fully endorse you calling them and getting it. Mark Weber is their manager, for training and education, he said I could name drop him and give out his email publicly. So his email is mark.weber, W-E-B-E-R, @prismahealth.org. Reach out to him and get that training. So mark.weber, W-E-B-E-R, @prismahealth.org. It was great.
Seneca, I'm glad to hear that because we're scheduled for next month. for
Yes.
Training September.
It was very, very good.
That's fire department, rescue squads too. I mean,
Yep.
everybody.
I gotta set it up
That's
for
special to
West Union. When we do it for West Union, I'm gonna invite Kiwi and Wahala and everybody, so it was a very good training.
It was so good, I signed him up for Rescue 5 for next month.
Good.
Anything else for the Rescue Chief Commissioners?
Just a note, I know that you worked pretty hard on the SOGs. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for pushing that through.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Get a raise.
I wish. All right, hearing nothing else for rescue squad updates. The next item is executive session. I see none that was submitted for this meeting. Next item is adjournment. Do I hear a motion?
Motion adjourned.
Motion by Steve. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Dean. All in favor, aye? Aye. We're adjourned.
Come on.